Hello YouTube, this is Michael. I'm bringing you another video here. This one is a little bit of a how-to, kind of, the way we do it here. So, excuse me. Alright, so I was actually gone for 2 days, and I had a friend looking after my beardies for me, and he's still a little similar, and we have one that's a little bit down right now. I believe the person that shipped him did ship him a little bit early, so anyway, let's get over that. He's having some problems shedding right now. I am doing this video a little bit late, so usually it's his bedtime right now. So I am doing this video a little bit late. Usually it's his bedtime right now. But anyhow, he's having a really hard time shedding, and he is a silky male. She said he was 8 weeks, so that makes him probably about 10 weeks now. I believe he's still a little under that. So you can see his tail shedding pretty harsh. So anyway, if you look at the side of his face right here, I don't know if we can get that on camera, a dry spot of blood right there. He kept rubbing his shed against a rock and anything he can find to just rub his head in. So finally we just had to pretty much take everything out of his enclosure. So we have to give him some special care. So anyway, we've been having to force feed him a little bit, but right now I'm going to show you what I do for the shed. So don't let him fool you. He'll take off. Yeah, see? Come here. Yeah, I gotta hold him. So anyhow, we got this vegetable glycerin here. I'm using 2 cameras, so you kind of see me going back and forth, try to get the best angle. And this is something that helps them shed when they're having a rough shed. This is what I use on the Silky. This is my first Silky. I've used this on my other dragons when they're shedding. And just to make sure I don't get too much, I actually have a separate syringe that I use. I think it's about 0.2 in here. So I guess I can start off. I use a little dish like this for him, especially when he's soaking in this. I do fill it up a little bit more than I usually will, just so it gets over everywhere. And then I will take about half of, like a point, half of right before the 0.1. So that'd be 0.05. And I will put a little bit on his head of straight vegetable glycerin. And this, it actually says on the bottle to use this 2 to 3 times daily. So I do buy this from beardeddragons.co. I will make sure I put the link in the description. With beardies, as we all know, their skin, they don't have the normal protection as regular bearded dragons do. So to me, I actually like their water to be between 95, 98. I usually pull it out when it's 98, and that way right now, I just tested it as about 94. So I'm going to get him in here before he gets any lower. No. Yeah, he likes to jump out of this one. You just get him to calm down. Sometimes he'll be alright. Just suction your hands in here and they poop. So I usually do this in the bathroom with this rock, and he usually calms down pretty good. I don't know if it's just because of the bearded dragons we have behind me that are pretty restless. So I usually keep my hand right here so he feels comfortable. Any movement from me will get him to run. So if I try to remove my hand, actually he's doing alright. The reason why I use vegetable glycerin like this is because if they do drink it, it's okay for them. I can't remember the name of the antibiotic that you put on them, but it's similar to like a Neosporin, but for bearded dragons, but I just ran out. I have some more on the way. One thing I do like about beardeddragons.co is that they have a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of great info. They have a lot of great prices. It's just their shipping. I know I've been really used to Amazon where I get stuff, 2 days, 3 days max. But man, it took almost a week before they even shipped the product. And then it took another, 4 days to get it. So I want to say it was about almost 11 days before I received the product. But it felt like 3 weeks, especially when you have products that you're waiting for. So one tip, if you do decide to use them, please make sure you order your stuff early. So I like to let them sit in here for about, about 10 minutes, I would say. 8 and 12 minutes. Kind of how long they'll put up with it for.
I can hear the silence as I'm walking by. Everyone's so quiet.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit up here on his head. And all you have to do is just tip upside down. Just not even a little tad bump. And look at that, he likes it. Yeah. Let's see. Just relax and soaking up this sun. He thinks it's sun, but it's really lights. Some things you do want to watch out for with this when you put them back in their enclosure. I actually turn their heat light down. I have a adjustable heat light on him. I also turn their UVB light off just because it can burn them. For my Silky, I actually give him a UVB 5.0 Repti-Sun. I do not give him the 10.0. Look at him. Look at Saturday. It's almost like he's putting some suntan oil or some tanning oil on and go and tan it. I know some people don't agree with the vegetable glycerin, and again, this is just what I do, what works best for me. Again, I've never owned a Silky before. My buddy has, and he's actually owned quite a few, and he has done this method. I believe one Silky is probably all I would want. They do require extra attention. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there and people that say, they don't. And I honestly just believe, every Silky, just like every bearded dragon, is different. I think same thing goes for some of the Silkies out there. Alright guys, that's just a quick video. I'm going to go ahead and get him because he actually is pretty cold right now. So I am going to get him in his blanket, aka microwave towel. And he thinks it's a blanket anyway. So, and get him a little dried off. I try not to dab him up too much so some of the oil stays on him. And I'm going to go ahead and put him away. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. And you all have a great day.